5 Near-Death Experience Stories. Number 1. Finding Dentures. In a 2001 study by renowned cardiologist Pim van Lommel, a man who had been in a deep coma later told a nurse that he recognized her. He told her that he saw where she had placed his dentures during resuscitation efforts, and then described the cart where she placed them. They were there, precisely as he described it. Number 2. Life Review. Oftentimes, people relay their near-death experiences as a review of their life. Though life review experiences cannot be deemed scientifically veridical, they are worth noting. They can have a profound effect on the near-death experiencer, and sometimes cause them to re-examine their life and morals. Below is a doctor's description of the life review of a near-death experience patient. When he realized that collision was imminent, the patient said that time seemed to slow down as he hit his brakes and went into an uncontrolled slide. Then, he seemed to pop out of his body. While in this state, he had a life review which consisted of brief pictures, flashes, of his life. His car struck the truck and the truck bed crashed through the window, causing multiple injuries to his head and chest. Medical reports show that he was in a coma and nearly died. Yet he had a vivid sensation of leaving his physical body and entering into darkness. He had the feeling of moving up through a dark tunnel toward a point of light. Suddenly, a being filled with love and light appeared to him. Now he had a second life review, or life review proper, one guided by the being of light. He felt bathed in love and compassion as he reviewed the moral choices he had made in his lifetime. He suddenly understood that he was an important part of the universe and that his life had a purpose. Number 3. Blind woman has sight restored. As mentioned above, some blind people report being able to see during their NDE. Psychiatrist Brian Weiss tells the story of a blind elderly woman. She suffered a cardiac arrest during her stay in the hospital where Weiss was the chairman of the psychiatry department. She was unconscious as the resuscitation team tried to revive her. According to her later report, she floated out of her body and stood near the window, watching the resuscitation. She observed without any pain whatsoever, as they thumped on her chest and pumped air into her lungs. During the resuscitation, a pen fell out of her doctor's pocket and rolled near the same window where her out-of-body spirit was standing and watching. The doctor eventually walked over, picked up the pen, and put it back in his pocket. He then rejoined the frantic effort to save her. They succeeded. A few days later, she told her doctor that she had observed the resuscitation team at work during her cardiac arrest. No, he soothingly reassured her. You were probably hallucinating because of the anoxia, lack of oxygen to the brain. This can happen when the heart stops beating. But I saw your pen roll over to the window, she replied. Then she described the pen and other details of the resuscitation. The doctor was shocked. His patient had not only been comatose during the resuscitation, but she had also been blind for many years. Number 4. Traveling through walls. Some near-death experiencers report stories of veridical out-of-body experiences, including traveling through walls to the waiting room, where they see their relatives and friends. One patient reported traveling through a wall and seeing her young daughter wearing mismatched plaids, which was highly unusual. Another woman traveled through a wall and overheard her brother-in-law in the hospital waiting room talking to a business associate in a very derogatory manner. She was able to report this back to him later. Number 5. A child meets relatives. One man who had a near-death experience as a child recalled the experience of meeting dead relatives. There were some presences there. There were some ladies. I didn't know them at the time. They were so loving and so wonderful, and I just didn't want to come back. I didn't see any pictures of them until I was an adult. But I said, oh yeah, they were my great-grandmothers who had died years before I was born.